you going, Rankers? Welcome back. I've just been setting up a new light in the studio. Someone randomly sent me a ring light, and you can see the reflection in the screen. Look, ta-da! Suits, doesn't it? Don't you think? Thank you, whoever sent me that. This is the second time that's happened randomly. Last time it was because I was complaining about flies in the studio and someone sent me this. I suspect the same person. Whoever you are, well played. I want to talk to you a little bit about spring, because spring is in the air. Oh, by the way, some additional news. Facebook's banning news content because of the ACCC and media going up against them, saying they have to pay for their content. What? Who saw that coming? Everyone who's been in the industry for a little while, except the ACCC and old media. But moving right along, I want to talk to you about spring because this is what's happening in search right now around Australia. Everybody is looking for things for the garden for springtime. And guess what? We've got a spring clean webinar coming up in a couple of weeks, which you can attend to find out how we achieve results like this. Now, this is pretty awesome, this one. This one just came this morning, hot off the press. New client, second month in. We've just been going through this initial period of getting all our checks done, getting some basic changes pushed through quickly. And what we tend to do is look for the things that are going to have the biggest impact on revenue in the shortest space of time. So, you know, we had a goal of a I think it was a 20% increase year on year for this client. And they had a goal of 85 and they're at 120. So we've already blown that out of the water, but we would normally reset budgets, but you can't do that in your second month, right? Because you don't know whether it's going to stick, and you have to sort of temper down the client enthusiasm to say we've got a long way to go. There's a lot more we have to do, but we're going to keep doing this for 6 months, see how far we can grow. At the end of that point, then we'll know everything's bedded down. These numbers are real. It wasn't just a sale or a flash in the pan or a particular product or something like that. It is actually consistent growth in revenue. At the end of that 6 months, you can come back and say, give us some new budget. So we've just done that with a client. And last year during the spring sales season, which we'll get to, last year during the spring sales season, they were doing about 375, something like that a month. 375,000, of course, a month. And that's their peak season. Next year, they've said they want that to be 800,000 a month. And you might think that's a huge jump, Jim. It is, but not when you consider the growth that they've had this year, right? It's not that big a jump. So my job now is to go through and have a look at those budgets month by month, look at the seasonality of the industry and work out how we're going to achieve that, when we're going to achieve that, what we have to do. And that is why we are having the Spring Clean webinar, because we can't do it for everybody. We can only do it for a certain amount of clients. And the key with this process that we follow is having great business owners to work with. And we screen our clients fairly tightly because of that, because it just makes for a much nicer working experience when you can be proactive. And I said this to a client the other day. I said, look, because we're over budget now and you're just looking for things to get us to do, let's just reset budget so we can be proactive again, not reactive, which is what you tend to be after you hit the budgets. So this Spring Clean webinar will be going through the sorts of things that we would look at, how you focus on revenue, how you can fix up little things on your site that can have a massive impact, like the numbers that you've just seen. And it's quite extraordinary, and I think it's a lot to do with our assumptions with e-commerce over the years, over the last 20 years or so. Back in the late 90s, it was about, people don't want to buy online, right? And we've always had this sort of myths or assumptions, and it's a bit like the 4-minute mile. Once it was broken, everyone was breaking it because they knew it was possible. And that's the same with us. We did this on a couple of sites. We went, well, if it's possible on their site, maybe it is actually possible on everyone else's site. And for the most part, it is. There are exceptions to it, but for the most part, this works on whatever e-commerce platform you're on. Kentico, Magento, Shopify, Xcart, OpenCart, Neato, all the others, all the above, the ones I haven't mentioned, the ones that you're on. It works on that as well. And it's just really about the business owners having the right focus and understanding the numbers, knowing where to look, and making sure those things are on track, having those dashboards in place. So you know that, yeah, we're on target. And as I said to someone the other day, do you want to focus on getting that keyword to number one, or do you want to focus making $100,000? Because they're two very different things. And that's what this is. Hopefully I'll see you there. It's cimedia.com.au/webinar. We've got limited seats available because we don't want to talk to a lot of people, basically. We only want to talk to the ones who are really interested. So get on board. Hope to see you there. And remember, subscribe, share wherever you see the show, and leave a comment. I will answer. And even if they're a bit rude, like the ones a couple of weeks ago, I'll still answer them. Thanks very much. We'll see you soon. And thanks for the light, whoever bought the light.